Spiritual cultivation take time. This one is very, very true. That's why you have to be very patient. It doesn't mean that it takes eons and eons and eons like the Bodhisattva way. That one is different. That one is maybe for those who understand what this Bodhisattva way is all about. It definitely involves eons and eons and eons of birth and death, lifespan. But when we talk about spiritual cultivation, take time means it's not like what people think overnight, yeah, you become enlightened. Then after that, no need to do anything really. It's not that way. Because the whole cultivation is unending. Spiritual cultivation is unending. But there will be moments of awakening, moments of enlightenment. It keep on happening all the way. But all this awakening uh, and so-called enlightening moments, it doesn't mean that immediately after that you become Sammasambuddha. No such thing. In fact, the first glimpse of Nibbana is just the beginning. You can transform and become a Sotapan. But there are so much more for you to learn, to develop the understanding. Even after you become Arahant, of course, there's no more rebirth. The birth and death of the segmented body through normal law of karma no longer exists. That's why to the Theravada tradition or practitioner, their aim is to realize arahantship so that they don't have to come back to the conditioned world to suffer. But they don't have the understanding of what happened. Actually, is nobody there. There is he know you, he know me. The Arahant is just the form and mind that has the wisdom connected. That's why he is no longer deluded. So he doesn't suffer anymore. And because of that, there is no avijja. No avijja means last thought moment before he died, he cannot have that type of condition rebirth like normal human being born of ignorance. Avijja pacha sankara, the last thought moment through delusion, they take birth. No more. That's why Arahant cease. Cease means the mind realizes Nibbana, no longer arising. Means after that last thought moment is ceased. There is a condition, a rebirth consciousness. So there is no karmic force, continuation of karmic force. But it doesn't mean you cannot come back. You must know how to come back. And then you can come back. That's why Bodhisattva come back. Buddhas, they come back. Yeah, this is the conditioned world. You must know within the conditioned world, for you to come back to this conditioned world, to manifest like this life, my nature come with this form and mind. You call Brother Theo as a human being. This is my vehicle. This is my tool. And my nature, because I go this way, when I come back, I don't need to go to that avijja paja sankarata or rebirth consciousness. No. My nature has the vow, the bodhisattva vow. Then it has the understanding. Then the understanding and all the vows and aspiration that it has perfected and cultivated over the long period of cultivation. This is the one that gives rise to understanding for this nature to come. And this nature can choose to come where it have all this understanding. Initially, as you walk on the Bodhisattva way, you cannot choose because you don't have the understanding and the ability. But that vow, if you are very sincere, if you are committed, you have the faith, then you really take that vow. Then that vow take root. The Bodhi mind planted, then it take root. Then what happens is that life, yeah, before you become Arahant, if it take root, even as a sainthood, you can still come back. You can still come back. Uh, then that life just before you become the arahant, or after you become arahant, you can make that vow and develop the ability and determine strongly to plant the seed of bodhi to go this way. Means you have proper guidance. You have that type of kayamita that has the understanding. They can guide you, they can train you, they can teach you how to do. That you seriously determine, sincerely with the faith, that it can happen. Then when it happens, when you pass away, where you already are, there is no more rebirth. But that vow will bring forth the causes and conditions for this pure mind to arise. Where your first bodhisattva vow, you vow to save the limitless living being within the entire existential world. That vow is out of love and compassion. So because of that vow, it actually merged with the nature's law. The nature's law allowed that vow to manifest as what? As a pure mind. But that intent is very pure, out of love and compassion for the living being. They vow to liberate the limitless living being and take them all across. So that vow, which is a pure thought, a pure mind, at that one, take birth. That's why it's no more ignorant thought. So this pure mind, condition rebirth. What you need is a karmically conditioned form and mind. The form, karma will deliver. Understand? Like this physical body, this vehicle, the karma deliver. But the consciousness that go with this rebirth, you need to create it either through avijja, you die like a normal deluded being, then you take birth. That is the normal way. But the bodhisattva don't take birth this way because they have become arahant and beyond. They will never die like a deluded, ignorant living being. They die with this pure understanding. The mind just ceases. We are no more delusion, no more avijja. It will not condition rebirth. So that one, the pure mind, come from their vow. So the conditioning and the timing initially is not up to you because that being don't have that ability to choose to come. Choose to come means you choose your timing, you choose your condition, you choose your parent, you choose all those things. Like this life. My nature choose my parent. My nature choose the timing to come. Then when my nature arises, those that have affinity with me, they will also take birth because of affinity, coming and whatever. Yeah. So like this life, yeah? Or let's say during the time of Sakyamuni, okay? Just because you have affinity with Sakyamuni, or even some of his great disciples, you may during that time because you know who they are and your faith is so strong, you determine that some of them they already have affinity with them because otherwise they cannot take birth. When Sammasambuddha Sakyamuni arrives or these people arrive, they have encountered before. It's just like the Jataka story, it was mentioned. The top 10 disciples of the Buddha, especially Sariputta, Moggallana, Mahakassapa, even Ananda Deo, they have been brothers, sisters of parents and children for many, many, many lives because they have been cultivating together. The only thing is Sakyamuni progressed faster through the wisdom way. That's why he became Sammasambuddha first. Then these are the people who are very close to him, where they have been cultivated with him for very long. Then some vow to become the chief disciple, like Moggallana and Sariputta. Then some vow to serve the Buddha in different way, like the wife. Uh, uh, what is the name of the wife? Yosohara. Yosohara, princess. Yasuhara. They have been married for many occasions. Then they vow to become the wife. Then the mother vowed to give birth to Sammasambuddha. That's why a lot of living beings they make this style vow. Uh, So when they vow, when there is condition, it come true, it will fit in. Even like Sujata, he vowed to offer the milk rice to the potential Sammasambuddha. The last offering just before they become Sammasambuddha. That's why Sujata get to perform the offering of milk rice. And Sakyamuni after that, underneath the Bodhi tree that night, he became connected and realized Sammasambuddha. So all this explain why a lot of people fail to understand how come Sakyamuni Buddha is a Buddha so wise. He need to strive for 6 years after he renounced the world and left the palace to cultivate on his own. Whereas some of his disciples within 1 week, 2 weeks, straight away Arahant. Why he takes 6 years? It's not to say he is not as smart or as wise. It's because there are people who make this type of vow. You have to allow Sujata to make the offering, then only it can happen because their pure wish and vow are so sincere that it have merged into nature's law. And their nature, like Sakyamuni, if you are very sincere, they will agree. They will consent to your offering. This one, unless you are this cultivator with a great being, you cannot understand. Because when people have the affinity and the condition and they are so sincere and so true to themselves and so pure, when they make their request, all these great beings they know and they will have the ability to manifest what that person sincerely wish for. The other example is Dipankara Buddha. Dipankara Buddha. Do you know who is Dipankara Buddha? Long before Sakyamuni become the cultivator to go this way. So Dipankara Buddha, when he arrives that time, actually Sakyamuni Buddha has the ability to become Arahant in that life. He has actually walked this way for quite long. Then he couldn't get a prediction. Yeah, if you go the way of the Bodhisattva, you cultivate this Bodhisattva way. Before you get the prediction from Sammasambuddha, you are not sure the final result of Sammasambuddha who is not confirmed. So you need to get confirmation from Sammasambuddha. So that I, Sakyamuni Buddha to be, managed to get confirmation from Dipankara Buddha. You know what he did? That life, it was in the Jataka story, I think. The Chronicles of the Buddha. You read them. It seems during that time of Dipankara, he together with his retinue of disciples, they were walking through certain road to that village. But Sakyamuni to be that time as a Bodhisattva, he has the ability to use his psychic ability. He actually developed psychic and also understanding. Then he saw there was a pool, a pond of water, not much. I think his whole body length can cover. So what he did was he actually can use his psychic to clear the thing and all. He didn't. He lie down and let the Buddha and the disciple walk without getting wet. Yeah. Then Dipankara Buddha knew what he wanted. After they crossed, Dipankara Buddha turned to him. He said, your wish to get a prediction can be confirmed now. The Dipankara survey and check him out. Then realize he has the parami already. Then he told him the prediction. He said, after how many world cycle from now, you will become a Samasambuddha. You will be born in the Sakyan family. Yeah. Means the 2,600 over years ago. Yeah. You will have the name of Gautama, Siddhartha Gautama. Yeah. But Sakyamuni is their Sakya clan. Means their race, something like that. Sakya race. So Sakya is the race, has a Muni. A Muni is a Samasamuna. So that's why it becomes Sakyamuni. So people cannot understand. I thought he was Siddhartha Gautama, but his name was Gautama. I think the family name was, oh sorry, his name was Siddhartha. The family name was Gautama. So Siddhartha Gautama. Then the clan was Sakya. So that's why his predicted name is Sakyamuni. That's how it comes. So through all this Jataka story, you can also more or less understand. But if you are not a craving, if you don't go this way, you cannot understand how come this is possible.